and away it goes. And pretty soon, you can't do anything. You're not going to pick apples. You're not going to pick fruit up there and pick berries. It's frozen. What's the trouble? The trouble is winter has come. And Paul said to Timothy, he says, do thy diligence to come, he says, before winter. You know, those habits you form when you're young, they stay with you. I would have a 4-year-old one time getting a haircut, and the barber kept smoking and blowing smoke in his face, and the 4-year-old didn't say anything. His mom was right there, and he didn't say much. And after a while, that barber got talking while he was clipping the boy's hair to some other men in the shop. And he said, you know, he said, I've tried for years and years to conquer this habit of smoking, but I just can't conquer it. And the little old boy piped up and said, you know, mister, I've had the same trouble sucking my thumb. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's an oral complex you got. Stick something in your mouth. Some of you guys that smoke, your teeth are a pacifier or something. Always have to have something in there. And some of you have to have gum in there all the time, too. It's a strange thing. When you get where I am and look at a congregation, sometimes it looks like a meadow full of cows chewing their cud. The time to do is form a thing when you're young, before the winter sets in, before the cold comes in and tears things all to pieces. All right, now I'll tell you something else. There's something else you got to do before winter sets in. Before the opportunity goes, you don't have the opportunity anymore, you better learn how to show kindness to the departed. By that I mean before they depart. Mom and Daddy aren't always going to be around. Maybe your mom and Daddy aren't much, but you'll miss them when they're gone. You say, well, I miss Mom and Daddy when they're gone. Yeah, but you'll think of all the things you could have said before they left. You'll think all the things that you should have said before they left. And the thing is, after they stand there in that old cold casket in that cold ground, it goes down there and they shovel that dirt in there, it's too late. It's too late, brother. Winter has come. And he said, do thy diligence, he said, to come before winter, showing kindness to the departed. Time in the Greek mythology is winged. Mercury has wings. That means time doesn't tarry. Time and tide wait for no man. And time comes and time goes. The first thing you know, all your time is gone. I remember one time I had to conduct a funeral at McNeil's down there, and I can't remember exactly who it was, but a fella died very young, about 35. I don't know whether his wife had stepped on him or not, or whether he thought she had stepped on him and hadn't. I don't remember what the situation was, but I know one thing: when that thing took place, that widow, a young widow there, about 30 years old, was bending over that casket and crying and crying and crying, and she'd hang in that casket and she'd look into there and she'd pat the face of that dead man and say, Jim, I always did love you, Jim. I always did love you, Jim. I never was untrue to you, Jim. I never stepped out on you, Jim. I always did love you, Jim. And I suppose she did. I wonder if she told him that before he died. Don't you wait till you get there by the casket and then say, well, Mama, I should have said this, and Daddy, I should have said this, and didn't say it. You say it before they go. You say, what? Winter's coming, boy. Winter's coming. And listen, boy, on the cold hand of death, reach out and chill that face and still those features and freeze that into a mask of death. It's going to be too late to do whatever you're going to do. It's going to be too late to do it. Do thy diligence to come before winter. Nathan Bemis says one of the saddest scenes he remembered in his life was burying his father. And he and his three brothers buried his daddy in the middle of the winter when it was about 10 below zero, and they're out there and they'd chipped and cracked open the place there and going to bury the body, and the sister was standing there just stone-faced and crying, and not out loud, but just tears running down her face. And finally one time while they were doing that and shoveling and all this and that, Nathan came up to her and said, what's wrong, sis? What's wrong? Nothing can be done about it. He's gone. And she was crying, and she said, Nathan, she said, I never told him I loved him. I never told him I loved him. I never told him I loved him. I mean, in all those years growing up, and she was in her 30s then, in all those years, I never told him I loved him. You show kindness to the departed, and you do it now, or you don't get to do it, because wintertime is coming, and do thy diligence to come before winter. That's my text. Do thy diligence to come before winter. Years ago up there in the mountains of North Carolina, there lived an old boy that made a pretty good living raising hogs, and he'd raise corn to feed his hogs with, and he'd take his hogs to the market and sell them and get them butchered and buy him some more money, get him some more money, and buy him some more corn to feed him some more hogs with, so he could sell them and buy some more corn to feed some more hogs, to sell them to buy some more corn to feed some more hogs. Some folks live like that. I don't know what they get out of it, but that's what he did. And he's married some poor country girl up there, never had much of anything. She labored like a dog most of her life there in the home. And she'd always ask him about if she could get a new dress. He'd say, no, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough money. Well, just something cheap down at the Sears Roebuck. No, we don't have enough money, no, we don't have enough money. And that kind of stuff went on for years and years and years. Finally, in the middle of a dead of winter, she got real sick, got a bad case of double pneumonia, and she died. And she died, and after she died, they had a very sad funeral, and the next night was a very cold, rainy night. Somebody went by that fellow's house to see how he was doing, and they couldn't find him anywhere. And it began to rain, cold, freezing rain, and they couldn't find him anywhere, and somebody said, I saw him heading down for the graveyard. And somebody drove down the graveyard and tried to get a hold of that old boy, and when they got down there, they found him at the graveyard, and he was at the graveyard, and he was lying on that woman's tombstone down there, and he had a big roll of linen there, and a big roll of silk, and a big roll of something else there he bought down at the dry goods store, and it was draped across that thing, and he was lying there, you know, banging his fist on the cement. Too late, buddy! You know what the trouble is? It's winter. The ground is hard. It's frozen. It's cracked. You can't go an inch further. You've had it. You know what you need to do? You need to show kindness to the departed. Show kindness to the departed before they depart. That's the business. All right, he says to then the thing, he says, do thy diligence to come before winter. All right, that isn't all. There's other things. For example, you parents here, do your best to chasten your child and discipline your child before your child gets grown. I know the world's against you, and right now the government's against you. Right now the government is trying to keep you from whipping